All right, so everyone knows we're recording this. That way we can have it for anybody who might miss today's meeting and be able to share kind of a little bit about the tour. So thank you all first off for joining us today. I have been busy with the Home and Garden Show recently, and we have Dozer Days on the cusp. So just thank you for your grace and patience with any mistakes that I might flub through on this, but we wanted to give you a chance before we kind of open up our registration for the tour of homes to give people a sense of what the tour entails. Many of you have participated before, and so you might be here for just specific details on this year. Some may have not participated at all. I know we have some interested parties who haven't been a part of the tour in the past. And so, Nathan, thank you for joining us. We are excited to kind of kick things off and really just give you the overview today. So it won't be, how do I go to the next screen? There we go. So today our plan is to just go over a few things. It shouldn't take too long, but I also wanted to provide a chance to answer any questions as they come up. We've established a timeline working with our committee, and we'll continue to meet with that committee as we go forward. So anything that's brought up today, I'll take some notes. If we need to come back to the committee with, I'm happy to do that. So if questions come up, please take note. Let me know how I can answer your questions. So we plan to kind of go over the event. I'll talk a little bit about what the tour is, about how it is scheduled through the month of September, and then a little bit about what's in it for you as a builder. We also have some opportunities for associate members to be a part of the event in different ways, and then walking through the application process. This really is about our the builder application process. We also have sponsorship applications and a variety of things that will follow. That's not necessarily in today's presentation, but I would want to just kind of recognize everybody who does attend. So as we should, do you think I should start with some introductions maybe? Sure. I think that might be good. So you can't see us, but can you see us?
This is you.
Oh, okay. But I am Lindsay Brown. I am the Communication and Events Director here at CWHBA, and am excited to be here. So
Okay.
I'll just go.
Okay, Chelsea Stockrax, Executive Officer for the CWHBA.
We'll go around the table.
Nathan Poole with Inversion Design Build.
Justin, New Creation Construction.
Gary Berg, G-Force Aerial. I'm the photographer from last year. Back to do some more.
And this year?
Alyssa Howe, I'm the marketing assistant here. I'm Shelley Parker, I'm the member experience manager here at the association.
Jim Engelbrechtson, Inland Lighting.
You have to call me.
Yep, if we could go to you, Chris.
Chris Nass, structural components, roof truss manufacturer.
How about you, Gina?
Hi, Tina Bond.
Oh,
I'm your membership ambassador.
we have a Tina and a Gina, so now let's move to Gina.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I'm Gina Donangelo with Hayden Homes.
I see Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Brewer, MB Designs.
And then I see we have somebody joining us on an iPhone. It doesn't have a name specified, so I'm anxious to hear who's here.
This is Chris with Catalyst Homes. I'm sorry, I can't get my video to work.
No, that's totally okay. It just says iPhone, so I couldn't call you by name.
My computer doesn't work for Zoom, so I just did it on my phone.
Oh, no problem. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Now we have an idea of who's in the room. I'll kind of move forward. So what is the tour of homes? For us, this really is an opportunity for us to showcase builder quality and design excellence throughout our regions. So this event does span 2 of our counties here in Washington State, Yakima County and Kittitas County. So we have a unique kind of spread in the way that we debut this event. And we really want to provide opportunity for the public to view the work of our builders, to be able to get your hands get your eyesight and hands immersed into the new home builds that are happening in our area. We also have opportunity for remodelers to participate in the tour. And so between those two, really giving people an experience that allows them to see firsthand the work that's happening. We all know too well how Zoom can make things feel distant, or how digital can be a difficult way to really see what you might be exploring for your own home. And so by providing an opportunity for people to get in homes, to connect with builders directly, it's really the goal of our event, to provide kind of an entertaining opportunity to get out and connect, but also to see firsthand the work that's happening. I have the dates outlined here in terms of the tour of homes. But when I look at this, I just see a lot of words and numbers. So ultimately, the event occurs in September, and it spans a few weekends with some events throughout. So what I did is I put it onto a calendar so we could just take a look at that. I think that just helps me visualize better what that looks like. So the tour of homes happens over 2 weekends in the middle of September. We span, again, our 2 regions, and these are a Saturday and a Sunday event. So it happens, I think it's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Over the weekend. So builders are staffing their homes, people are coming in and out, considering it kind of like an open house, but across the valley. You get to visit multiple homes, see different types of builds, and meet all sorts of builders. So the first weekend is the 17th and 18th, and that only occurs in Yakima. We typically have more builders in Yakima, and so we want to provide more opportunity, but I am hoping to grow that and keep getting more Kittitas builders on board. So the second weekend, then we also open up homes in the Kittitas region to allow our attendees to be able to visit both, travel throughout the region and see all sorts of gorgeous homes. So in the middle of that, smack dab in the middle, we also have an event called the Chefs on Tour. And this is where if a builder and homeowner determine they wish to participate, we encourage it. And we have kind of a special night that is a one night only for that region, where we invite chefs and beverage companies from throughout the region to come into the home, serve their goodies. It's a higher ticket price. It brings in a little bit different clientele, but it allows for people to kind of get a different experience and a twist on the tour of homes. So if they get chef's tickets, they can also then attend the tour of homes, but it's really just kind of a little more bougie experience at a higher price point for tickets, but it really provides kind of a more interactive experience with some local chefs and beverage companies. And then also before the event, we have some commitments that we ask builders to participate in as well. And that is our builder bus blast. Because builders are staffing their homes throughout the event, the tour, they don't get a chance to see each other's work. And so we host a builder bus tour where we take the builders around throughout that region, and they get to kind of check out each other's work, see the homes that are on tour in that region. This is also the day in which awards are judged. So we have some awards that are given out on the Friday prior to the event. So our appreciation and awards event, which will be held together. So both regions will be held in an event together this year. The judging occurs on that 13th and 14th of September, just before the event. So it's kind of an intense series of events, but we have from now until then to plan it. So working with our committee, we will be working to do that, keep things, keep everyone as informed as possible, and keep moving forward. So I hope this visual helps. It definitely helps me looking at the calendar on kind of what the event entails in its entirety. Really only part of it, to be honest. So as a builder, you might be interested or wondering, how is my tour home featured? Obviously, we have the in-person tour event, but we provide various opportunities for people to see and experience the home, to navigate to the home. And I wanted to just go over those pretty quickly. Most of these examples are all from last year. So pictures that you'll see throughout this presentation are all from homes that were featured on last year. In the background, you can see our Hayden home right there, Gina. But I just pulled some of the materials that we use, some of the advertising, just to kind of give you a sense. This year, it'll look a little different, but we'll have a lot of the same stuff. We'll vary it slightly. So we have a magazine tour guide. This is our home resource and buyer's guide. This is our membership directory that is printed twice a year. We just came out with our spring edition, but in the fall, we expand it a bit to also include the tour homes and in their particular features. So there's a good 20-page section, give or take, that shows all of the homes. They have a QR code that goes straight to that house on our website. We also have a mobile app that we developed to help people navigate to the homes on tour weekends, as well as just kind of view the photos and different features of each home. So it's kind of listed and helps them navigate throughout that day, weekend, and or just browsing from home. So that is also still live on the Apple Store. So if you want to check it out, haven't seen it before, it's still live from last year. We also, everything we do kind of points to this online home catalog that we have as well. And this is just a snippet I pulled from our website that shows kind of what it looks like, where you can see the variety of homes that are listed. You can click into each one, and each one gets its own website with featured builder information, home information, details, all of the things that we ask you for pretty much are for use on that platform. We also, amidst each of these, give you an opportunity to explore the homes. Thanks to Gary at GeForce Aerial Media. He does a great job in helping kind of give us the content to curate. Look, Melissa's clapping for you. It was really, really interesting and exciting to be able to kind of roll this out and allow for a virtual tour for individuals who may not want to attend or cannot attend.
Or wants to show it later to their husband.
Want to show it off and explore it. So you can kind of see, this provides a floor plan based on the capture that we take. And then we can kind of navigate, we can navigate through around the house. You can move to different locations. You can see the house, tour it virtually. And it really gives for a good interactive experience that you can do from your mobile device, computer, or anywhere after the fact. So some of the event promotion that occurs happens in the form of billboards. We have all sorts of print advertising that goes out in our local areas. So these are, again, just a couple of ads and different placements that we used. As well as we do digital banner ads for the event. So these are those ads that follow you around on the internet when you're like, hey, I almost bought those shoes, but I didn't. And then all of a sudden they start to follow you around. Well, when you almost get tickets to the show, or you're, say, visiting our CWHBA website, or you're geographically targeted in a specific region, we can then serve those ads for this event to really help in promoting that, or getting people to kind of pull the trigger and buy a ticket.
I was getting served Dozer Day ads last night.
It's working. So I also wanted to play a quick recording. I don't know if this is going to work. I think I have to join audio somehow, but I'm afraid. Maybe I'll just send this out, but this is a quick commercial. Maybe you can just watch. It's very short. I don't know if the audio will come through on our sharing, so I apologize if you're not here in the room, what that might do. Maybe I won't. Okay, just kidding. We also do TV ads and radio commercials. I was going to demonstrate that for you, but I'll send it out in our follow-up. So what else, you ask? Again, many of you have participated before, so you're very familiar, but here's a couple of photos from last year's builder bus tours. Again, the opportunity for builders to connect with each other is part of why our association exists. And so to provide this kind of opportunity, I think is a real benefit to being in the tour. You get to connect with some local builders who, yes, it may seem as competition, but a little friendly competition is always encouraged. But it also, it's really exciting to kind of see the conversations that are happening and see the work that's happening all around our region. So this is part of my favorite part of the tour. We also have our appreciation and awards event. So here's a few photos. Last year we did 2 separate events. This year we'll be combining them into one, but I just captured a couple photos from that. Really giving highlight to the hard work and effort that goes into building these. These homes are beautiful and way beyond the things that I ever imagined in getting to participate last year. And so to be able to celebrate that together, put appreciation out for our associate members who help contribute, as well as our builders who work hard to be there. So that is all included for you as a builder in participating in this event. So the big question that many people probably have, honestly, is what is this going to cost you? So I wanted to go through kind of the cost structure for what this looks like and the variety of platforms in which you can participate as a builder. So here is the breakout for our standard tour home entry. So if you want to participate in the standard tour of homes, these are all the things that you get included. You get photos, you get the virtual tour that we demonstrated, you get a full build out web page for that home, each home that participates. And then we also have all sorts of features. We do the printed magazine, we give you tickets to the show, we invite you to the events, you're a part of them. We ask you to host your home for those weekends so that you get a chance to talk to the public as they tour the space. And then we include you in all sorts of event and promotion. I also will let you know that we tend to use a lot of those photos and marketing opportunities throughout the rest of the year. You will see those things on our social media in different, because all of a sudden now I have a great array of photos for various homes in our region that make for perfect like backdrops and backgrounds and billboards and all sorts of stuff. So we tend to highlight those builders because it gives me a lot of collateral to work with. So it's just an exciting thing for me to kind of continue to share the beauty of those homes well after the event happens. But this, to participate, if you jump on board early, you pay early before May 1st, it costs $2,000. That's as a builder participating in the standard tour of homes, those 2 weekend events. You'll also get to participate in the builder bus and the appreciation event. If you wait, this is really incentive to encourage early participation. If you wait, we do have a varying fee after May 1st, because then we have a little bit more work to do, a little bit more effort to put in, and we start curating early on. So we just encourage you to think about it early. We know it's sometimes difficult to tell the timelines of homes, so we're definitely willing to work with you. But if you sign on early with us, there is some cost savings there. Additionally, if you add an extra home or few, each additional home is $1,500. So again, if you've got multiple projects happening all at the same time and you want to include those as well, we can add those on at a discounted rate. The other format in which a builder can participate, and we have done this in the past, especially because of the COVID pandemic that occurred. In 2020, we did a fully virtual tour, and then in 2021, we allowed for virtual submissions. And so we're continuing that at a higher rate than we have in the past, but ultimately to make sure we can cover our costs, include you in the same amount of media exposure and web build out and all of those things. We have a $1,250 price point before May 1st. If you wait, and put it off. I want to just, again, let you know, I encourage you to participate as early as possible. Let us know. We can work together on what the details look like and how that schedule or timeline works for you in your home. But the earlier the better for us, because we have to start creating materials like tomorrow. Not quite, but close. So starting to get a full list of the homes that we're featuring. I want to do that as soon as possible. And I want to encourage you to have those conversations with me early. Again, many of those same benefits are part of this package. You still get to attend the appreciation and awards event. You still are joining us on the bus. You still get to kind of showcase your home to the builders, but it will not be attended by the general population. So that's something to note. You don't have the opportunity to interface in the same format, but we do include builder contact information, the home featured webpage. You still get included in our materials. All of that still happens, but it negates the opportunity for the public to enter the home. So we had some builders participate because maybe their families, their homeowners were apprehensive. And so we wanted to still continue to provide that opportunity. If you want to be a part of the tour, we want you to be a part of the tour, but this could be a make or break point for some of those conversations. So we wanted to still allow that. Now, I wanted to also kind of give you a little bit information on our Chefs on Tour. So this is that one-day event per region that would happen smack dab in the center of those 2 weekends. This is our Chefs on Tour night. Here's a couple of photos from last year's tour. We have some beverage companies. We have some chefs that came in to really kind of wine and dine with the consumers as they're touring the home. So again, it's a $50 price point. It adds a little bit to the experience and really does provide a good social atmosphere where people get to experience the home as well as, chat with their friends and have some goodies. So for that, it's an additional $1,000 to participate in the Chef's Night. That typically is really the expense to cover our food, a little bit of promotion, but the food and beverage, just covering their expenses so that they're not having to fork out tons as well. It helps cover that, but it provides kind of a really interesting and exciting atmosphere. Look, Chelsea, there's your red hat. Yes.
Oh, no, that's
So this again is an add-on to any tour home. I want to be clear though that we are offering this for only the standard entry home. So if your home is seen in person, this is again kind of that opportunity to add on a night where your home is staffed again. It does add a little bit of work on your end, on our end, but it really provides an exceptional experience and we want to encourage that. So the more homes we have, the better the night is to a limit. Like we have to have a certain amount of homes participate in the tour, in the Chefs on Tour to really make it valuable to the consumer, but we also have a limit. So sign on early. Anything you want to add?
do it.
Question, standard entry is both in person and virtual, right?
No, so that's kind of how we're defining the difference. There's a standard tour entry and then we have a virtual tour entry. Standard just being a typical tour of homes in person.
I would like to open up the discussion to allow virtual tours in the Chefs on Tour. I see no reason why we shouldn't allow virtual tours on the Chefs on Tour. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't allow that.
Why wouldn't you want to do the general tour then also? If you're going to let the public in on one night, why not all 3?
A lot of reasons. You enjoyed the virtual last year, but your project this year is warrants a chef to be there because it's an outdoor kitchen venue. Brewery. That's what my project is. It's an outdoor venue. So it's got a wood-fired pizza and we can have a wood-fired chef for that matter. And so I don't I don't see any reason why we shouldn't allow that.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think that is definitely something we can talk with our committee on. This being more of a briefing to just kind of give standard details. In the past, we haven't allowed that, but the virtual option is fairly new to us as an association in general, right, to this event. So I think that would be fitting for our next committee meeting to have a conversation about how the group feels. So thank you. We can definitely add that to our agenda.
I mean, not staffing on the virtual thing, I mean, that's just a decision that the builder's got to make it, and clients dictate some of that as well. So, but you could also have a fantastic outdoor venue, indoor venue for that matter, doesn't matter. Kitchen could be a 20, it could be a 10. I mean, it could be the best kitchen we've ever done. And that builder would, want to show that kitchen off in person versus virtual.
I'd like to chime in, Lindsay, on that with my own house last year being virtual. I would have entertained the idea of more of an elite onlooker on a tour, on a chef's night that paid a higher end ticket versus having strangers on the weekend in my house. I would have entertained that chef's night just because it's a different buyer, it's a different client.
Okay. All right, thank you, Melissa. Okay. So just to give you how do I go back? Okay. This is just a breakout of all of the tour kind of varieties. Since we went through them page by page, I just wanted to put them all into one slide so you could kind of see that fee structure as we've kind of laid it out. And we'll have a conversation with our committee on the Chefs on Tour edition. But this generally is kind of the breakout of all of the price points that we've positioned for the 2022 year. I think I'm going to call it Tour 22. I don't know. Yeah.
Just a minor detail. Do we want to move that entry date back to May 2nd because it's on a Monday? I mean, it's a minor detail.
Okay.
Well, before May 1st would be all of April.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's about 6 weeks from now, right? If it's mid-March. Yeah. So that's, I mean.
They might need that extra couple days to make the decision.
Sure.
If they want to do it or not.
If somebody was in conversation with me and applied May 2nd, I would acknowledge that. Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's really about getting a clear list early. And so that's definitely something we would entertain. All right. So again, I just was going to outline the event series dates for you. If you want to screenshot that, I'll send this information out also via email as a follow-up to this. But then there were some other important dates to recognize that I just wanted to put on here and kind of go over with you very quickly. Registration will open hopefully today. We've got our packets created and we'll be disseminating that. I'll be updating our website very shortly. It's just been a busy week with Home and Garden Show and Dozer Day on the cusp. So we're working to kind of catch up there. And then our early bird rate would end kind of in about 6 weeks from now. And we would ask for everyone to submit no later than June. So that's after the early bird rate ends. You then have another month or so. But after that, and it becomes much too difficult for us to continue creating our content and materials. And then as soon as your house is ready, the sooner the better. We have Gary come in and work with you on taking those photos, getting the Matterport 3D layout. It takes a few hours for him to kind of gather all that, as well as, I didn't even mention there's a video highlight that we do as well. And he did a fantastic job. It's about 1 to 2 minutes of kind of a home highlight builder interview that looks really, really great that you're also welcome to use after the tour is complete. So all of those materials you do get access to and ownership to use on your websites and hosting capability for at least the next year. So Yeah, we'll have a new builder orientation to go a little bit more in depth, answer questions for any new builders sometime in June. And then hopefully in June, we're really doing, I meant to say June, July. I don't know why it just says July, but we'll be photoing and filming as soon as the homes are ready. So I'll be working with you closely to try to schedule that so that we can have collateral as early as possible. A lot of this depends on deadlines, and being able to debut the homes in their best is definitely in both of our interests. So we want to make sure the homes are ready and complete, but also that we can capture them as early as possible. So we also have some fun photo tricks that we can do for that we've had to do in a couple instances where maybe we had really smoky skies because it was August and it was awful and there was fires, and we just photoshopped in some pretty sky to make it more palatable and show off the home in better ways. So there's some things that we can do, but anyways, we'll be working on capturing that early. And then we will send out collateral to builders and ask for their review to make sure before we go to print on things. And so August 16th is kind of our last for our magazine, and the printed materials that have to go off a little bit earlier, we'll have kind of a deadline around there. If you're participating, you will know well in advance, and I will keep you well informed on what's ahead. But these are just some important things that you might want to add to your calendar. Questions?
I had a question.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple potential places to put in this, but one specifically, we're actually building a demonstration unit, but we don't know where it's going to be sited yet. Would that be a potential candidate for this, assuming that we find a site that's appropriate for the tour?
Like it's within Yakima, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we recognize that every build is a little bit different. And so when we also take that into account when we look at our awards and the various kind of categories you might get placed into, or the location and how we lay out things. Every build's a bit unique, right? Many of these are custom homes. And so we want to make sure the public can have an opportunity to tour a home, but then that we also kind of allow a variety.
Are you just not sure like who's it? Is it one of your?
It's one of our ADUs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, you're asking, like, you may not have the address of where it is just yet by June 1.
We'll know by then.
Okay.
It's more a matter of it's likely going to be a unit that's going to be sited somewhere for 6 months to a year, and then it's going to end up moving to a permanent location later.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I think individual basis, we'll have a conversation and we can see what fits and what works. So, yeah.
Tell me more about this, will you? Is it on wheels?
No,
Okay.
it's actually, we have ways to make a temporary permanent foundation. If you're really curious, I can tell you more.
Temporary permanent foundation. Yeah, I'm curious.
Or I should say a removable permanent foundation.
Okay.
So accessory dwelling unit, the whole point is that it's something that can go in the backyard of another unit. So that's the other thing I just wanted to say is we'd be very interested if the other builders want to host something like this in a yard with their feature unit. We're mostly here because we want to get the word out that this is another option for people who are looking for space like this. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's permitted ADU?
Yep. Depending on the jurisdiction, there's different hoops you have to jump through to make it happen. But the city of Yakima in particular has made it easier in the past like 3 or 4 years to build these. And they're actually looking at relaxing some, even their current rules, relaxing some of them in the next like 3 or 4 months. So yeah.
The only reason why I asked is because we had extensive discussion years ago about manufactured homes. And it struck a chord with a lot of builders. They had a difference of opinion between the two, being a stick built on a foundation versus one that's on wheels. And so I think that this one's a touchy subject if it's on wheels.
No, these are stick built units. Once they're down, they are real property. They will live with the site. They'll be titled to the property just like a normal house. They're not even modular. We do a panelized offsite construction, but it's an open panel basically just like you're pre-faming your walls, which a lot of, framers
Offsite.
do anyway. That's essentially what we're doing. Otherwise, it is exactly like any other unit.
In ADU, they're under 1,000 square feet-ish.
In the city, yeah.
Yeah,
Every jurisdiction has slightly different rules about the maximum square footage, but in city of Yakima, it's 1,000 square feet.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had builders quit the tour after that debacle. It didn't work out very good for us.
Does
Yeah.
anybody have any other questions?
Anything on the screen?
Well, I will certainly follow up this meeting with some of the information. I'll share the slides as well as we'll send out the entry paperwork and work to get that up onto our website as soon as possible as well. I appreciate you all attending and I'm happy to have further conversation on individual basis. If you've got questions about your specific project, we are happy to review that. Our committee will continue to meet, so we will bring up the conversation in regards to Chefs on Tour. And if you've got any other questions, please don't hesitate to email me, call me, stop by, all the things. And I appreciate